Before we begin, I just want to mention that today's video discusses a real-life case that some viewers may find upsetting. I always aim to approach these stories with care and respect for the people involved and for those affected by the events being discussed. This video is based on publicly available information and focuses on the official investigation and documented facts. Over the years, the case has been widely discussed online, and a number of rumors and theories have circulated. Where possible, I will focus on verified information rather than speculation. If this isn't the right video for you today, please take care of yourself, and I hope to see you in the next one. For those choosing to continue, thank you for being here. In January 2013, a 21-year-old university student from Canada arrived in Los Angeles during a solo trip across the United States. Her name was Elisa Lam. She was staying at the Cecil Hotel in downtown Los Angeles, a building with a long and unusual history. But just days into her stay, Elisa disappeared. The last confirmed sighting of her would come from a hotel elevator, captured on security footage that would later spread across the internet and raise countless questions. More than a decade later, the case still continues to spark discussion and debate. This is the story of Elisa Lam. Elisa Lam was born on April 30th, 1991 in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. She was raised in a Chinese-Canadian family alongside her siblings. Her parents had immigrated from Hong Kong and ran a restaurant business in Vancouver, where Elisa spent most of her childhood. Growing up, Elisa was described as bright, thoughtful, and creative. She had a strong interest in reading and writing and was known to enjoy literature and film. Friends later recalled that she was curious about the world and often expressed her thoughts through writing. As a teenager, Elisa began keeping online blogs where she shared reflections about her life, interests, and personal experiences. These posts would later become widely discussed after her disappearance. During her youth, Elisa also faced ongoing mental health challenges. She was diagnosed with bipolar disorder and depression and had spoken openly about managing these conditions through medication and treatment. Despite these struggles, she continued her studies and eventually enrolled at the University of British Columbia in Vancouver. It was during this period that she began planning a solo trip across parts of the United States. In early 2013, Elisa Lam began traveling along the west coast of the United States. She had planned the trip as a break from her studies at the University of British Columbia and wanted to explore different cities while documenting her experiences online. During the journey, Elisa remained active on social media and on her personal blog, where she shared photos and reflections about the places she was visiting. Her posts suggested that she was enjoying the opportunity to travel independently. Her trip included several stops along the West Coast before she eventually arrived in Los Angeles, California. In late January 2013, Elisa checked into the Cecil Hotel in downtown Los Angeles. At the time, it appeared to be just another stop on her journey. But within days, something would go terribly wrong. When Elisa Lam arrived in Los Angeles in January 2013, she checked into the Cecil Hotel, located in downtown LA. The hotel had originally opened in 1924 and had once been intended as an affordable accommodation for business travelers and tourists. However, over the decades, the surrounding area of downtown Los Angeles experienced economic decline, and the hotel eventually became known for offering low-cost rooms and long-term stays. By the early 2000s, the building had gained a reputation due to several incidents that had occurred there over the years, including criminal activity and unexplained deaths. Because of this history, the Cecil Hotel had become widely discussed in true crime communities and media coverage. At the time Elisa stayed there, part of the hotel had also been rebranded as a hostel-style accommodation known as Stay on Main, which was intended to attract younger travelers. Initially, Elisa was placed in a shared hostel-style room with other guests. However, reports later indicated that her roommates had complained about unusual behavior, and she was moved to a private room during her stay. During her time in Los Angeles, Elisa remained active on social media, sharing photos and updates from her trip. But on January 31st, 2013, she was reported missing. On January 31st, 2013, Elisa Lam was expected to check out of the Cecil Hotel and continue her journey. However, when she failed to make contact with her family that day, concern quickly grew. Elisa had been in regular communication with her parents during the trip, so the sudden silence was unusual. Her family reported her missing to the Los Angeles Police Department. Hotel staff were questioned, and investigators began searching the Cecil Hotel, reviewing guest records and examining areas throughout the building. Officers also spoke with people who had interacted with Elisa during her stay. Despite these efforts, there was no immediate indication of where she had gone. In the days that followed, search efforts expanded and police began reviewing security footage from inside the hotel. One particular video would soon capture worldwide attention. During the search for Elisa Lam, investigators reviewed security cameras inside the Cecil Hotel. One piece of footage, recorded on February 1st, 2013, showed Elisa inside one of the hotel elevators. In the video, she appears to press several buttons before stepping in and out of the elevator. At times, she can be seen standing in the doorway, looking down the hallway, and making hand gestures that many viewers later described as unusual. For much of the recording, the elevator doors remained open despite Elisa pressing multiple buttons. After several moments inside and around the elevator, Elisa eventually steps out into the hallway. The elevator doors then close, and she is not seen again in the footage. Weeks later, the Los Angeles Police Department released the video to the public while asking for help in locating her. The footage quickly spread online and sparked widespread discussion, with many people attempting to interpret Elisa's behavior in the video. However, at the time it was released, investigators were still trying to determine what had happened after she left the elevator. After Elisa Lam was reported missing, the Los Angeles Police Department began a wider search of the Cecil Hotel and the surrounding area. Officers searched guest rooms, hallways, and other accessible areas of the building, while also speaking with hotel staff and guests who may have seen Elisa during her stay. Flyers were distributed throughout the area, and police appealed to the public for any information that could help locate her. Despite these efforts, there were still no clear signs of where Elisa had gone after leaving the elevator. Weeks passed without any confirmed sightings. Then, on February 19th, 2013, hotel guests began complaining about problems with the water supply in their rooms. Some reported that the water pressure was unusually low, while others said the water appeared discolored and had an unusual taste. Hotel staff were asked to investigate the issue. What they discovered would soon bring the search for Elisa Lam to an unexpected and tragic conclusion. Following the discovery of Elisa Lam, authorities began a detailed investigation into the circumstances surrounding her death. An autopsy was carried out by the Los Angeles County Coroner's Office. The results indicated that there was no evidence of physical trauma suggesting an assault. Investigators also reviewed toxicology reports, which examined the medications Elisa had been prescribed for bipolar disorder and depression. In June 2013, the Los Angeles County Coroner ruled Elisa Lam's death an accidental drowning. According to the official findings, it was believed that Elisa had entered the rooftop water tank herself. The report also suggested that her mental health condition may have played a role in the events leading up to the incident. While the official ruling provided a conclusion to the investigation, the unusual circumstances surrounding the case, particularly the elevator footage, continued to generate public discussion and speculation in the years that followed. More than a decade after the death of Elisa Lam, the case continues to attract attention online and remains widely discussed. The unusual elevator footage and the circumstances surrounding her disappearance led to many theories and debates across the internet. However, authorities have consistently maintained that the official ruling of accidental drowning remains unchanged. Elisa's family later filed a wrongful death lawsuit against the Cecil Hotel, arguing that the property had failed to ensure guest safety. The case was eventually dismissed in 2015, with the court finding that the hotel could not reasonably have predicted the events that occurred. In the years since, Elisa Lam's story has continued to be examined in documentaries, articles, and online discussions. For many people, the case remains a reminder of how quickly unanswered questions can spread and take on a life of their own. While the official investigation reached its conclusion in 2013, the story of Elisa Lam is still remembered today as one of the most widely discussed mysteries connected to the Cecil Hotel. More than a decade later, the case of Elisa Lam continues to attract attention and discussion around the world. While the official investigation concluded with a ruling of accidental drowning, the unusual circumstances surrounding her disappearance particularly the elevator footage, have led to ongoing debate online. Because of this, it's important to remember that behind the headlines and the theories was a real person whose life was lost. If there are any other cases you would like to see explored in future videos, please feel free to leave a suggestion in the comments. Thank you for watching, and as always, stay safe out there.